He had fame, money, and global success, yet he lost the two people he loved the most. After years of silence, loneliness, and heartbreak, Keanu Reeves trusted only one woman again. Not a celebrity, not a scandal, but someone who healed him when the world wasn't watching. This is the story you've never truly heard. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss an update. Now let's dive into what really happened. What if fame, money, and worldwide success couldn't protect you from heartbreak? Keanu Reeves is known across the globe as a calm, humble Hollywood superstar. Millions admire him for his action-packed roles and quiet personality. But behind that gentle smile lies one of the most heartbreaking personal stories in the entertainment industry, one that fame could not heal. At the height of his career, Keanu seemed unstoppable. Blockbuster films like The Matrix turned him into a global icon, and years later John Wick proved his lasting power in Hollywood. To the outside world, he had everything: success, respect, and unlimited opportunities. Yet while the cameras flashed and audiences cheered, Keanu's personal life was slowly breaking apart in silence. In the late 1990s, Keanu fell deeply in love with a woman named Jennifer Syme. Their relationship was filled with hope, warmth, and dreams of a shared future. They were excited to become parents and were planning a life together. But fate had other plans. Their baby daughter was tragically born stillborn, a loss so painful that it left both of them emotionally shattered. Grief entered their lives like a storm. The pain was unbearable, and slowly, the weight of sorrow pushed them apart. Not long after, the couple separated, each struggling to cope with a loss no words could describe. As if losing a child wasn't enough, tragedy struck again just 2 years later. Jennifer Syme died suddenly in a tragic car accident. In a short span of time, Keanu Reeves lost his daughter, the woman he loved, and the future he once imagined. From that moment on, Keanu changed forever. He became quieter, more private, and emotionally guarded. Fame no longer impressed him, and success felt meaningless. While the world watched him rise higher in his career, inside, Keanu was simply learning how to survive and how to live with loss without losing his soul. After experiencing such devastating losses, Keanu Reeves did something few people expected. Instead of escaping into luxury, fame, or unhealthy distractions, he chose a life of quiet solitude. While many celebrities use success to hide their pain, Keanu faced his grief alone, away from noise and attention. For years, he avoided serious romantic relationships. Love reminded him of everything he had lost, and opening his heart again felt too dangerous. Instead, Keanu poured himself into his work, choosing meaningful roles that reflected depth and struggle. Acting became not just a career, but a form of survival. At the same time, he quietly helped others, donating large portions of his earnings to children's hospitals and cancer research, often without ever attaching his name. People around the world began noticing something unusual about him. Photos and short videos showed Keanu sitting alone on park benches, riding public transportation, or giving up his seat to strangers. These moments quickly spread across the internet, earning him the affectionate title of the internet's boyfriend. To many, he seemed humble, kind, and refreshingly real. But behind those gentle actions was a man still carrying deep emotional scars. His kindness wasn't an act, it was shaped by loss. Keanu once shared a powerful truth: grief changes shape, but it never ends. He never tried to erase his pain or pretend it didn't exist. Instead, he learned to live alongside it, allowing it to shape his empathy and compassion. Trust, however, remained the hardest challenge. Losing the people you love most can make you afraid to let anyone close again. For Keanu, love was no longer just romance, it was risk, vulnerability, and the possibility of more pain. And for a long time, he simply wasn't ready to take that risk. Then, after years of emotional distance and silence, someone from his past quietly stepped back into his life, without pressure, without expectations, and everything slowly began to change. Her name is Alexandra Grant. Unlike the glamorous Hollywood figures Keanu Reeves was often linked with in the past, Alexandra was different in every way that truly mattered. She was not an actress chasing fame or attention. She was an artist, intelligent, creative, thoughtful, and deeply grounded in who she was. Most importantly, she was not new to Keanu's life. She had been there long before the world ever noticed her. Keanu and Alexandra had known each other for many years, first as friends and later as creative partners. They collaborated on books and art projects, sharing ideas, words, and imagination. Their connection was built in quiet rooms, not on red carpets. There were no flashing cameras, no public pressure, and no expectations of romance. Just mutual respect and understanding. Alexandra never saw Keanu as a global superstar. To her, he was simply a human being, someone with depth, pain, kindness, and history. She understood his silence and never tried to force conversations or emotional confessions. She didn't try to fix his sadness or erase his past. Instead, she gave him something far more powerful: space, patience, and acceptance. She allowed Keanu to be exactly who he was, including the broken parts he had spent years protecting. Their bond grew slowly and naturally, built on trust rather than attraction, and friendship rather than fantasy. It was honest, gentle, and real. For someone like Keanu, who had lost the people he loved most, this kind of connection meant everything. Trust did not come easily to him, but Alexandra earned it without asking for it. She didn't rush love. She waited. And in that waiting, something rare and meaningful was quietly formed. What made Alexandra Grant truly different in Keanu Reeves' life wasn't just love, it was understanding. In an industry where relationships are often driven by publicity, glamour, or ambition, Alexandra never tried to change Keanu, nor did she use their relationship to gain fame. She didn't seek the cameras or the attention. In fact, she often avoided the spotlight entirely, letting their connection grow quietly, away from public scrutiny. When they were first seen together publicly in 2019, the world was surprised, but not for the reasons you might think. There was no scandal, no drama, no red carpet theatrics. Instead, people were struck by how normal, peaceful, and genuine the two of them appeared. There were no flashy poses, no forced smiles, no showy displays of affection. Just two people standing side by side, comfortable in each other's presence. Keanu looked calm, safe, truly happy, something his fans hadn't seen for years. Those closest to the couple revealed that Alexandra supported Keanu in ways no one else ever had. She encouraged his creativity, understood his deep sense of empathy, shared his values, and above all, respected his past. She didn't try to erase his memories or compete with them. She honored them, understanding that every part of his history shaped the man she loved. That kind of emotional security, rare for anyone but especially for someone like Keanu, who had endured unimaginable loss, was priceless. This relationship was not built on excitement or superficial attraction. It was built on healing. Alexandra gave Keanu the space to be himself, broken parts included, and a safe environment where trust could grow slowly. For Keanu, who had spent years protecting his heart, that level of honesty, patience, and understanding wasn't just comforting, it was transformative. Through Alexandra, he learned that real love doesn't rush. It nurtures, heals, and protects. Today, Keanu Reeves is more than just a Hollywood icon. While millions admire him for his movies, what truly sets him apart is his character, humility, and resilience. His story is not just one of fame, action-packed roles, or red carpets. It is a story of survival, compassion, and the ability to remain kind despite heartbreak. And standing beside him through all of this is Alexandra Grant. She is not a replacement for the losses he endured, the daughter he never got to raise, the love he lost too soon, but she is living proof that life can still offer something gentle, safe, and meaningful even after unimaginable pain. Together, they show that love is not always loud, dramatic, or flashy. Sometimes, it comes quietly, softly, and steadily, arriving only after years of patience, grief, and personal growth. Keanu once lost everything that truly mattered to him. Yet, remarkably, he didn't become bitter. He didn't allow grief to harden his heart. He remained compassionate, generous, and deeply human, even while carrying scars that most people could never imagine. And when the time was right, he allowed himself to trust again. Not recklessly, but carefully, slowly, and fully. This trust did not erase the pain he had endured. The grief, the memories, and the losses remained. But Alexandra's presence reminded him that he didn't have to face life alone, that he could share both his silence and his smiles, his creativity and his calm, with someone who truly understood him. And so, the story of Keanu Reeves is also a story of hope, a story that proves even after losing everything, it is still possible to love, trust, and be happy again. Alexandra Grant became the one woman he trusted, the quiet light in his life after years of darkness, showing that healing and love often arrive when we least expect them.